Hey beautiful educators, I'm just dropping by to talk to you about an issue that I believe is arising, and that is addressing tragic events in the classroom. I think that with everything that's been going on in the past 3 years in particular, our kids are really doing their best to process all this information, but it's difficult, particularly when there are misleading sources. There are a variety of different news channels. There are a variety of different ways that students get information, particularly from social media, and it's not always correct. And so what's going to happen is the likelihood of them reaching out to a trusted adult like yourself is pretty high. The thing is, the Gaza Strip footage at the moment is really disturbing a lot of students. I know as a mum who has lost her daughter to leukemia, watching this footage has been particularly disturbing. I also am really concerned about our Aboriginal youth who feel a little bit dismayed and feel really lost and unheard after the Voice to Parliament referendum. And we have kids living out of cars because of the cost of living crisis. We've got the Queensland fires where many kids have lost their homes. And we're in the very recent history of COVID lockdowns, Black Lives Matter protests, and all manner of natural disasters that are really making our kids feel unstable and uncertain. And so what we wanted to do was create a resource for you guys. It's free and it's really just designed to help you address any tragic events that have occurred that the kids maybe want to talk to you about. There's a variety of activities in these sheets, and they're really looking at the ways that students might process traumatic events. So for example, it might be body reactions and physical response, how it's impacting their relationships, how it makes them feel about the future. And they can fill these in their bubbles. And it's really up to you how you use these and with what age group, but they are built around the personal and social capabilities from the Australian curriculum. So they will be suitable for kids who are 12 up to maybe 16 with differentiation. It's really important that you make sure that the kids are aware of other resources that they can access outside of school hours. For example, Lifeline, and the numbers that the kids can reach Lifeline on are on the sides of the worksheets. It's worthwhile discussing with the kids again that you are a mandatory reporter and that you do need to make people aware if they are in danger or if they are going to put somebody else in danger. But it might be helpful for them to see some coping methods that people who've been through traumatic events use and that have research that's really made them quite prominent in the literature. So looking at things that help make them feel safe, looking at ways that they can connect with other people, trusted adults, as well as mentors and friends. It's very much a guided sheet, and you can add to that your own example so that it becomes something that they can relate to. There are also some sheets on exploring those coping methods so they can express themselves on this page in whichever way they want. So that might be drawing, it could be journaling, it could be a number of different words, but then looking at naming those emotions and looking at what body reactions might have come up in that space and really reflecting on whether or not this was something to be concerned about or a false alarm, and talking to them about our heightened senses in times like this. There is a lesson plan that's attached that you can go through. It talks about the Australian curriculum, general capabilities, and all the sub-elements that it's going to be addressing as well. It gives you some information on how to address tragic events in your classroom, particularly in the media. And it also gives you some tips for differentiation, particularly if you have kids in your class who've been through some form of trauma. And it gives you some contact details as well. Again, making the students aware that there are counsellors potentially in your school, year advisors, maybe you have a girls advisor or a boys advisor. And again, the fact that they can reach out to Lifeline if they happen to be at home and they're dealing with something that's come up for them. We hope this will help Australian teachers and students to feel a bit more stable, feel a bit more comfortable. Anyway, just sending you guys lots of love. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate you.